There we go. All right. Hi, Dominique. It's nice to see you again.
Hi, Miss Audrey. It's nice to see you too.
So tell me a little bit more about what we started talking about last session about moving in with that new partner. How's it going?
Um, it's going. I was just kind of really nervous. Just because I have kids and having that transition of having someone else in the home that's not their father, um, was just really scary for me.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like it could be really scary. Tell me a little bit about your kids and how they're kind of adjusting to that transition.
So my kids, they really do love him. They love when he's around. They have been asking for a long time, like, when he was going to actually move in the home with us because he's always here. But I think it was more of me just being nervous and really like what their father was going to think, even though we haven't been together for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that brings in a whole nother variable. So is the father, like you said, you're worried about what he's going to think. In what ways are you kind of worried about that?
Just like if he was going to not take care of his kids anymore because of me having someone else, or just the the mean thing he could say to me.
Has there been a history of that?
Yes.
Okay. Going forward, have you been able to have conversations with the kid and the father about what that's going to look like going forward?
I have not.
Okay. What would you think about something like that? Or have you talked to the man, I'm assuming, that you're moving in with? Have you talked to him about what that's going to look like moving in?
Yeah, so we have discussed that. Just make sure that he's ready to take on that responsibility, and also just um, what the mother of his kids would think, and also what the father of my kids would think. Um, but he's kind of like, fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm hearing a little bit of what you're saying is there's just more of a complicated family dynamic, and it's less that you're nervous about moving in with this man and more that you're nervous about the family dynamics that it might change or create. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about right. Just I'm used to doing things a certain way, and so having that other person come in and is going to change up some things, and just making sure that I'm prepared for that as well.
Yeah. What are like the non-negotiables for you of things that need to stay the same? If I want to do this a certain way and this needs to stay the same.
I would have to say my daily schedule. So when the kids eat, when the kids go to bed, um, I really hate, one of my pet peeves is when somebody leaves a cabinet open. Those are things I cannot deal with.
That is fair. And does he know all of those things about you of like these are the things I want versus like here are the things that could change if you move in?
Yes, so he's aware of how I operate as a parent. So he's aware of like my daily schedule. I just really feel, because he's a different parent than I am. He's very cool and collected, and I'm more of like the structured one. Like, no, this got to happen like this. I feel like it's gonna just be off balance, and
Mm,
I just want to make sure, anxiety wise, I would be able to deal with it because my anxiety gets really bad.
yeah. What kind of things surrounding parenting with him cause the most anxiety for you?
Um, Well, just like I said with my kids, I guess like he's just like the more fun person. I'm more the strict one, like gotta stay on the schedule. Let's do this, and he's just like, oh, let's go have ice cream. Oh, let's go have chips. And I'm like, no.
So it's kind of like the differences in how you parent. That's like what I'm hearing is he's more fun, and the kids are going to be kind of attracted to that fun where it's almost a worry. And correct me if this is wrong, but almost a worry of being that strict parent that the kids are not maybe going to gravitate towards as much. Is that kind of where you're coming from?
You know what? That could be it. I never thought about that, but that could actually be it. Is that I'm always seen as the strict parent, even when it comes to their father. So I'm like, I'm always that person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like having somebody in the house that's have a different personality, more of a fun personality than me, would probably, make it seem that way even more.
Yeah. Does he have things he's strict on as well?
Mm, not that I know of, no.
Ah, that could be difficult. And have you talked about kind of what co-parenting in a house would look like and different roles and kind of set some expectations in that way?
We kind of had the conversation a little bit just about like, of course, like his kids coming over to visit and things like that. So we've discussed it as far as that goes, but not really with my children in the home.
Mm-hmm. And when they've spent time with him, is it kind of already that dynamic, or do you see them respond to him in different ways? What's their response to him?
So they, like I said, like they just love being around him. Like, so they're always just like uppity up, happy, and then it's like when I'm in, it's like, oh, here come the what do they call me? Like the guard or whatever they say, like
Yeah,
like
that'd be
you
so
better go. Here come mama.
I mean, that would be so difficult having you carrying the burden of all the discipline for the family. I can't imagine
Mhm.
how that would feel. And so, are there ways that you think that you could incorporate like him into that? I don't want to call it a burden, but that disciplinary action. And have there been ways you've seen creative parenting things that play to his strengths, but also yours?
Mhm. Um, I think maybe once we're in the house together a little bit, I think we will be able to probably see dynamics. Um, because I don't know if that will change because he's actually in the house.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know how to. I don't know how to incorporate it.
yeah. And I don't want to skip over because I know at the beginning of the session we talked about a lot of this anxiety is brought on by the past man you were with and worrying about that. So I want to go back and touch on that a little bit before we have to wrap up. Of just what do you think it's going to look like, and what can you do kind of going forward to help that anxiety and those kind of feelings surrounding that situation?
I think for me, I think I definitely need to um, maybe embrace that may be some change and that be bad. That all change isn't bad. So I think that's one of the main things I have to think about. And um, also just kind of relax a little bit, which is really hard with anxiety. um, because I just know that there's going to be a change in the dynamics. I mean, of course, even when his children come over, it's going to be a change in how we operate and how things are. Because I'm sure things is different at their home. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some adjustment on my end and his, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to come to, of just knowing and expecting change and seeing how it's going to play out. Are there any changes you're definitely expecting that you can already kind of brace for?
Um, just having more in the home. I have to definitely get ready and embrace that because it's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that definitely checks out. And it looks like our time here is wrapping up. But is there anything else that you wanted to add or touch on before we end?
Um, no, not really. I think that was really helpful just to really talk about it and just not keeping it in and trying to figure it out because you can rack your brain with all of that stuff. So yeah, I think that was just really helpful talking to you about it.
Yeah, well, thank you for spending your time talking to me about it, and I will see you next time.
Thank you.